You open the YouTube.
Come.
Open. How? Does it?
Yeah, what should I write you on the subject? Live stream link.
No, our name events.
Alicia, mute your mic first.
Okay, and we are officially live. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Eventful Life, your new go to podcast where we unpack real event experience from the audience point of view. I'm your host, Amina, and I cannot believe we are finally launching this. If you're joining us for the first very well time, everyone is because this is episode 1. And thank you for being here. So, what is Eventful Life all about? It's a story driven podcast where we don't talk about events from the organizer's point of view only, but from the actual audience. The people attending, walking, queuing, getting lost, starving, struggling to find the washroom, basically, etc. Every episode onwards, we will share true stories from events we've attended, the music festivals, the felt magical conference that felt chaotic, exhibitions that were smooth, and concerts that were well tested our patience and stamina. We break down the things attendees really notice: crowd flow, ambience, F&B, registration, accessibility, engagement, and even washrooms. Yes, if you're an event organizer listening right now, please know that we absolutely judge your washrooms. And because this is our first episode and our first ever live sessions, we wanted to start with something everyone can relate to: our best and worst event experiences. And to kick off this journey, I'm joined by two amazing guests, well, friends, classmates, and our partners. I'm suffering whenever we attend events together. Please welcome Alicia and Felice.
Hi, my name is Alicia. My major is Bachelor of International Event Management, and I'm currently in my second year.
Hi everyone, my name is Felice and I'm currently 19 years old. I'm also taking Bachelor of International Event Management, currently in my second year of studies.
Wow, that's nice to hear. How has it been so far for both of you?
Felice can say first, maybe?
Okay, so for me, I've learned a lot ever since I started university, and I've gotten the chance to volunteer or work at the event industry before. And I've also attended a few events such as conventions, exhibitions, and talks.
And for me, I got to know many people and made lots of friends throughout my 2 years. Same with Felice too. I also got the chance to volunteer and attend events.
That's amazing. Both of you guys must have gone to multiple events during your study. Can you please share what events have you attended or volunteered before?
So throughout my 2 years of degree, I attended a few talks at our university and I also volunteer in different events like a summit and a conference.
So, me personally, I've attended conferences, exhibitions, and also conventions before, and also talks. And for volunteering or like working, I volunteered for a convention before and my university's convocation.
Okay, that's great. Okay, what part of today's podcast feel most welcomed or appreciated as a speaker?
Um, this warm-up conversation quite helped me to feel relaxed and feel like I was joining a thoughtful and genuinely curious space. And also, this podcast will provide us and the attendees took time to learn about our background for our studies in our degree and
Uh-huh.
also the event experience that both of us have experienced it before lah.
Mm. I think
Mm-hmm.
I felt really welcome when we opened the conversation by just asking about our personal event experience instead of jumping straight
Yeah,
into like our theory or whatever. And also because the three of us know each other already because we are
yeah.
classmates and friends, so it's a bit more comfortable.
That's good to know. Have the both of you had any good experience from the events?
Yes, definitely. And one of my best experience was during a leadership summit I volunteered for. Everything was so well from the registration to the breakout session. The team communicated clearly. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
knew their own roles, and the atmosphere there was so positive. It really made me appreciate how smooth an event can feel when the planning is strong.
Okay.
Um, for me, it's an event I've attended before. It's an exhibition I attended with Alicia here for an assignment we had to do to review an event. And the crowd flow was amazing, even though it was quite packed. I
Yeah.
never felt overwhelmed at all because usually, uh, when you like when a certain space is like packed, you get a bit anxious. That's like what I think.
Yeah.
And the signage was clear, instructions were also clear, ushers were friendly,
Mm.
and the entire layout made sense in a way. But sadly, though, F&B was very lacking. I think they hired some food trucks outside of the venue, but the price was a bit overpriced, and there was only one cafe inside the venue. But overall, I think the organizers did really well in organizing the event. And as an attendee, we never really know what goes on behind the plannings, and maybe there were things that have went wrong for them, but we mostly just know the surface. But it really showed me how much effort goes into creating a comfortable experience for the attendees.
The main one is the FMB. Every student wants to be an FNB. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's wonderful. It's so true when it's done right. The whole event feels enjoyable. Good experience really highlight the importance of proper planning, coordination, understanding the audience need. Now that you've told us the basic story, let's go deeper into it. When you first walked into the event, what was the very first thing that stood out to you?
Honestly, for me, it was the atmosphere. Everything feel
Mm-hmm.
coordinated, like people know where to go and what to do. It didn't feel stressful at all.
Hmm. So it felt smooth from the start.
Yeah, it's very smooth. Even before the event start, the energy was already there. People were like smiling, talking, and just vibing at the place.
Okay.
I think that's what makes an event feel special. Because when you don't feel awkward just standing there and you feel like you belong in that space, you're comfortable, and also like you feel like you're actually there to experience the event experience, like not just for a talk or boring event, something like that.
Yeah. That's true, because looking back, we don't remember the timing or even the run sheet. We remember the vibe, the people, and how comfortable we felt being there. Now that you've told us the general story, I want you to bring us into the moment. Try to imagine and picture the event that you guys went to.
Honestly, I remember walking in and feeling like everything was just alive. The music wasn't even that loud yet, but there was this buzz.
Was it more exciting or nerve wracking somehow?
Exciting for sure. I feel like I already was part of something big.
Wait, what was the question again? Sorry.
Oh, was it more exciting or more nerve wracking?
When coming into an event,
Like to, attend an event, yes.
mm, I think it depends on what event, what the purpose of me going to that event is. So maybe like if it's something that I wanted to go to and felt excited about it, then of course I'll feel excited and look forward to it. But there are some events that maybe I was forced to go, so
Yeah.
maybe I feel a bit like, yeah, I don't want to go, but I have to go anyway.
Yeah, because people don't remember, and they remember mostly how they felt.
Yes.
Anyways, what's the most memorable interaction you've had with the audience so far?
Like
Call,
as in when we're organizing, right?
yeah,
You, you want to go first, Alicia?
Maybe you
Alicia.
can go first. Just
Oh,
start.
okay. Uh, uh,
Anything like the memorable interaction you've had with your audience. Like, what was their reaction? Did they say it was the experience was so far so good, and like, how did it feel in that way? If you can
mm,
just give a small.
I
Is
think the most recent. Oh, you want to go first?
say say first, you say
Okay.
first.
I think it was like the most recent event I organized. So uh, I felt like the event that I organized was quite. It didn't really go as what I was planning. So
Uh-huh.
like, but then the audience like went up to me after the event session ended, and they say, "Oh, your event was really good, and you did really," because they were someone I know also, and they know
Mm,
like I was very worried about what the event is gonna be like, and they told me, "Oh, it's very good. You did very well, and overall, I enjoyed the whole event." So, I think that's when like you get to know that what the audience think, like they like the event.
yeah,
That's the
you
most
get to know
memorable
their
one.
perspectives.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, correlating to experiences, what about the bad experience? Did you guys experience any, as Felice said, it was not very well, but what was the worst event experience both of you encountered before? If you guys want to speak, say something on it.
There was one event I volunteered at where the communication was really, really poor. The team
Oh,
didn't brief us like properly, and also like they didn't even give a pre-briefing or any orientation. So everyone was confused about their own roles, and then everything became messy because
mm,
attendee asking questions, but the staff didn't have a clear answer to solve their doubt. This
mm,
really taught me the importance of proper coordination, and pre-event briefing is very important for an event.
mm.
I totally get
Felice.
that feeling. So for me,
Mm-hmm.
it's a bad experience. I think before it's an event I've attended, it was a convention. So the crowd management was very terrible, very bad
Oh,
at the entrance and where you're queuing up. There were supposed to be separate queues for VIP, early entry, and also normal admission. But there were
yeah.
no signages or like barriers, so everyone just mixed together, and the line became very messy. People were even cutting the lines, and the staff kept giving different instructions every few minutes. Like every different staff, it was different people. At one point, the crowd started pushing, uh, pushing forward because they only opened one small gate for thousands of people. It felt
Wow.
very unsafe and stressful also. But that experience really showed me how important proper entrance planning and crowd control are for big events, and also miscommunication for them, like the
Yeah,
organizing team. That was very, yeah, terrible.
yeah. Okay, so let's slow down a bit. Walk us through the bad entrance experience step by step.
Okay, so uh, I think it was when we arrived there. I went there with my friend, so we arrived there, and there was just people everywhere, like, and it was quite a small space, so it was quite packed also, and there were no clear lanes or no signs also. Yeah.
Okay. Did you feel unsafe?
Yes, I felt quite unsafe and anxious, and
Okay.
because people were pushing and everyone looked very confused.
And that's exactly why proper crowd control is so important. If the entrance already feels chaotic, it sets the tone for the rest of the event. Am I right?
Yeah, that's really true. When attendees feel unsafe or stressed right at the beginning, it's really hard for them to enjoy anything that come after.
Absolutely. The entrance is the first experience, and if the first experience is panic or confusion or discomfort, the whole event experience just drops instantly.
Yeah, it honestly affected my mood for the rest of the event, and even when the main activities were like okay, or but I just kept thinking about how rough that start were.
Yeah, and that's why organizers need to remember the crowd flow, clear signage, and enough staff at the entrance aren't just optional, they are very important and essential. So, have you attended an event where everything just clicked? And what did the organizers do so well, in your perspective or in your opinion? Felice, Alicia.
I go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Definitely,
Like,
there was
a
event that
small,
we
just
attend.
like what clicked,
Sorry.
as just like something that clicked you instantly.
Yeah, definitely there was event we attend feel like click everything goes so smooth. And I think
Uh-huh.
what the organizer really did well is because they really have a clear communication and also they respect everyone time. They follow the schedule time by time, no delay. And then
Mm-hmm.
I remember for even that day itself also have a small incident happen, but they also able to solve it and still make the whole procedure progress like run smoothly. Yeah.
Yeah, as we all know, the Malaysia traffic, time management is the most important thing for the event, I guess. Yeah. So let's dive deeper into what actually makes an event good or bad. Because at the end of the day, it's not always the decorations or the fancy lighting, yeah. It's the experience, the journey from the moment you arrive until the moment you leave.
Yeah, totally agree. A good event doesn't necessarily need a huge budget. It just need to be well planned. Everything's like smooth registration, clear signage, and staff who actually know what's going on will make a massive difference for the event experience.
And I agree with what Alicia said. And when the basics are done right, you won't even notice them, because
Yeah.
that's the quite funny part. Like even organizers, uh, you always go into every details to make sure that attendees feel like the event experience. But then, as an attendee, you don't walk out thinking, "Wow, that signage is great." You just feel like everything flowed naturally.
That's true. Good events feel effortless. You don't get lost or you don't keep asking where do I go and you're not stuck in a long queue for half an hour.
Yeah, that's true. A really good event will feel smooth and effortless. You don't have to think too hard about where to go, how to queue, or whether you will get a seat or not. Everything is just flow. And that flow is a sign that the organizer plan every detail properly.
Yes, and people always remember how an event makes them feel. Even if the content or performance is good, poor logistics can destroy the whole experience. So let's just break down what contributes to both sides. What do you guys think? What makes a good event?
For me, the first part definitely will be the crowd flow. When the layout makes sense, the space feels natural to move through, you will never feel stuck or confused.
Then also like registration. So a fast, clear, and well-managed registration process, because that's when you first experience when coming to an event.
Yeah.
The process automatically puts everyone in positive mode.
Yeah, and also the ambience too, the lighting, music, and atmosphere. When the environment feel welcoming, it makes people feel excited to be there.
Yeah.
And I think F&B is also important, even
Yeah.
though like not every event have F&B, but enough food, fast service, and also clean seating area is definitely a huge part of the attendee satisfaction.
And also, don't forget about the washrooms, the most underrated and the most eventual, like essential part of the journey.
Legit, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real, a clean, accessible washroom will really change the whole mood of an event.
Yeah.
Exactly. And when basic needs are handled well, attendees will always feel cared for, I guess. And that
Yeah.
creates a positive impression right away.
And that's really the core of a good event, the feeling of being taken care of when everything is smooth, organized, and thoughtful. People enjoy themselves without even realizing why.
Yeah, and when they are not thinking about the logistic, means that they really have a good time,
Yeah.
and that's how we know that the whole planning was successful.
Mm.
So honestly, a good event is one where the small details like don't distract you. You're present, you're also comfortable, and when the whole experience just flows.
Yeah, exactly. When organizers focus on the attendee journey and not just the program, the event naturally becomes memorable in their own way and the best way. Okay, so what type of event atmosphere or setup helps you perform at your best?
I go first?
Can
Alicia or Feli?
Okay, for me, I feel like the setup doesn't let me feel over formal, will be the most
Mm-hmm.
comfortable space that will help me to perform at my best. Because I will know that there's like no high expectation. I can just be myself and everything will can just go on the flow. Yeah. Good lighting also.
Yeah.
Good lighting and the ambience. Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
for me personally, I think I perform best in events that value authenticity. So setups where the space feels open, well coordinated, and also comfortable. And when the atmosphere isn't too rigid or like awkward, and the technical side runs smoothly, like sound system, transitions, timing, and also lighting, I'm able to be more engaging. So a crowd that feels present and responsive also boosts my energy.
All right. We all know how it feels having a very good atmosphere in the event. All right. So now let's talk about the opposite. What makes an event bad? Because sometimes, even with good intentions, things can go wrong sometimes.
Mm, I think not just as an organizer view, as an attendee view also. The biggest
Mm-hmm.
red flag is probably poor communication. It's like
Yeah.
miscommunication, when attendees don't know where to go, what time things start, and also what rules they need to follow. Everything becomes chaotic, and confusion is the fastest way to turn excitement into frustration.
Exactly. The moment people start asking, where do we go? Or is this the right line? Is the stress begins from there.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
another problem is the understaffing. When there are not enough usher, registration crew, or security, everything will become slow and confusing. Staff should enhance the event, not disappear when people need help.
And honestly, when stuff disappears at the exact moment you need help. So, yeah.
Yeah, and also like honestly, it's quite hard for as an organizer to find staff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there's like still a bit problem in that side. But also, I think what makes a bad event is poor time management. When the program keeps getting delayed and starting late, if performance also drag too long, at festivals or concerts, And if transitions take forever, attendees also lose patience.
Yeah, agree. Because if the basic needs are not take care of it, it's hard to focus on anything else in the attendee's point of view. Toilet also another thing people don't really talk about out loud, but they absolutely judge it silently.
And that's the thing, right? Good toilets don't get any compliments, but then the bad toilets or get remembered forever because it's the most, important and essential part in every human being life. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Like when I I won't say the venue name, but
Mm-hmm.
there was this one venue where the toilet was like, it was clean, but I could say it was like a very traditional toilet. And for me,
Okay.
it was like quite uncomfortable for me. But also, it's not like we're asking for marble sinks or scented hand soaps. We just
Yeah.
want it clean and stuck with tissue and not smelling like trauma. So
Right.
if something as essential as hygiene is overlooked, it makes you
Yeah.
question where else like they ignore.
Yeah, which brings us to the bigger picture. These little things are part of the overall attendee journey. It's not just about the show or the activity, it's everything that surrounds it.
So sometimes a bad event isn't because of something huge that went wrong. It's just a combination of small frustrations, long queues, and slow registration, no clear signage, and also a not well air conditioned room, confusing directions. All these small things pile up until attendees go, you know what, I'm tired. I want to leave the event. So, yeah.
Yeah, and all this happened when the organizer didn't consider the attendee journey. If the event feels stressful instead of enjoyable, people will remember that even more than the content. So no matter how fun was the content, they will just remember all the frustrated moments.
Exactly. At the end of the day, a bad event is one where the experience feels disorganized, confusing, or uncomfortable. People won't remember every single detail, but they will remember this frustration. Yeah. What is one positive surprise you've experienced at an event you didn't expect?
I think I'll go first.
Okay.
So, there was one time I attended a anime cosplay event. It was like in a mall. Uh, so honestly, when in like a mall, like because it's an open space, right, for everyone, not just the attendees who can go in.
Yeah.
The crowd will be very terrible. Like it'll be very packed. But one positive surprise was that the event actually had amazing crowd management. Like despite being an open space, so I went like going there. I went in expecting chaos because it was a peak hour event, also like during lunch hours. But the organizers had everything under control, and the flow was very smooth. Volunteers, I think there were volunteers. I'm not too sure, but
Okay.
it was actually helpful. And when asked by the attendees about like questions, they yeah know what's going on. And it reminded me that even small operational wins can make or break the audience experience.
Yeah, also volunteers are also one of the essential part for the event. They help a quite lot and during the events, especially when hiring them. Okay.
For me also, for
Yeah.
me, is a personalized touch of small gift or handwritten note. I will feel like the
Uh,
organizer is very well prepared, and also they
yeah.
put a lot of effort to let the attendee feel engaged.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Okay, before we wrap up, we would love to hear from all of you watching. If you have any questions, thoughts, or even experiences you want to share, feel free to drop them in the chat box. We'll take a moment to go through them.
Come on, ask questions, guys.
Guys, please drop them in the chat box.
We can answer your question.
Let's give 5 minutes.
Can?
Okay. Hi, Yonglin. Welcome to our podcast. So, have you ever gone to the wrong venue or wrong date by accident? Is the first question. So, would you like to?
Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Have you ever gone to the wrong venue or wrong date by accident for the event?
Definitely. Sometimes human will lose their way, right? Sometimes human will lose
Yeah.
their direction. So that's
Okay.
why we mentioned that before. Signage is really important. Event organizer really need to plan it well and then show it in the obvious spot so that audience know their way and like be less confusing. And also maybe sometimes if there's enough staff, event organizer can just like assign people to guide their way through the long way. They can show the direction, and when people need help, then they will immediately get help from them to know where's the exact venue to go.
Yeah, I
That's
agree with that.
why you need ushers for every event, even though you might think that ushers like not very important and not a very important role, but it's actually important.
Okay. What is the strangest thing you've seen someone do at an event? Um,
What is the strangest thing?
Someone do at an event.
do at an event.
So well, I went to an anime convention before, and as you know, anime sometimes they're, I guess, quite problematic people,
Yeah.
and well, they're not very problematic, but it was like, so I think a cosplayer was performing on the stage,
Mm-hmm.
and someone like at the audience also stand up and like started dancing. It's like, hey yo, what what is going on? I think that was like quite strange, but that was like quite funny. It was actually a good experience for me because
But it also
yeah,
indicate the performer did quite well though.
yeah,
Yeah.
Audience
exactly.
was
So
engaged.
like that's a good event, I guess.
Uh, uh, Given the bad experience, were they documented by the organizers or did you all share the experience?
So for me,
Mm-hmm.
usually after every event I organize, I guess there will be a brief session. So like you share what happened, like personally to you, what happened, like what is something that could be um how to say improve at a future event.
Feel better.
So it's usually we usually document it like to make sure that something like the bad experience doesn't happen anymore.
Hmm. I agree with that. I think that's one of the most important parts to brief the stuff before the event so to can be improved and make the event better from your last previous experiences. Okay, so someone's asking, will you make a second episode? Hopefully, if our speakers are available and if they're positive energy.
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, what's the one event you guys will attend again?
I think Alicia can answer that question.
Yeah.
For
What's the
me,
event you will attend again?
I think it's music festival or a music
Uh,
marathon. Because I participate before music festival. Oh no, it's a music and zombie run organized by some club in Taylor's, and I attended it. It really planned quite well, although it didn't planned by event management student. It planned by some club community. And I think their degree all is like different degree, but they combine together as a community team and they organize everything. It's quite fun, and the atmosphere there really let people feel relaxed and can hype up. So I think I'll attend event like that again.
okay, let me also add a small detail for this. I also want to say something. Maybe I would also like to attend the event like the Christmas event right now that's going on in the pavilion Bukit Pengtang. The lights are all up and like there's all Christmas lights all over and it looks quite fun. And it has a very good ambience and atmosphere. Okay. Someone's asking, how do you ensure you have enough stuff? Felice, Alicia.
Uh, Honestly, lack of manpower, like lack of staff, is always a problem. So, uh, it depends, I guess, because we never really. I think I haven't had a opportunity where I organize an event outside of like university life. So
Mm-hmm.
usually in university life there will be, I guess, volunteers, and also because it's usually community, like a community who's organizing an event or like the overall class. So I've never had any problem with like understaffing, but I think usually in like big events outside school communities whatsoever, it's more like you will hire people or like make sure you have volunteers, like you post out a job offer to like work part-time at an event, but it also comes down to like what those volunteers are, like who those volunteers are. So usually you always approach event management students or those who have experience, so just making sure that they don't like they're not someone who would like make the event go bad, I guess.
I
Yeah,
agree.
and usually as organizer, when we plan for event, we'll prep like extra crew for it. But what is the biggest concern is sometimes the crew will suddenly pull out for the whole thing, and that's when the timing will happen is understaffing. If not, usually as event organizer, everything the crew number will be like estimated, and we'll try to prepare as much as we can.
Okay, I agree with that. So, one more question. If you guys were to be a leader of an event, which part of the event would you assemble first?
Assemble first. Think
Let I'll think about it first.
assemble first as in the team structure or like which part?
I think the ambience would.
Maybe data is like the overall planning. Like where do you start first?
Oh, then definitely first will be define the objective and the goal of the event. Why we want to host this event? what is our purpose, all those. And then after that, we will start to construct the team structure, like assign the suitable staff into each department so that everything runs smoothly. Yeah.
I agree with Alicia's opinion. Uh, usually when like coming up with an event or organizing an event, the first thing you think about is why do you want to organize this event? Like what's our maybe target audience, and also what's the theme of the event want to be, and like that. And after we have everything, like all those things uh, put together, then that's when you build a team and start like yeah uh
Discuss and
start,
brainstorm.
yeah I
Structure.
start like brainstorming.
Delegate, yeah, tasks. And also the timeline should be prepared by that time so that everyone complete their task with a clear instruction. Because sometimes the miscommunication part between some department also, it's not the member can't do any work. It's because there's no physical fixed timeline, and sometimes some people are procrastinating, then this will make the progress will be slow. So if we have a fixed timeline, fixed time that we need to complete the task by this due, then everyone will try their best to accomplish their task, and there's no excuse for them to procrastinate more.
One last question before we officially end the podcast. If you would design your dream event one day, what would it feel like?
Dream event. Wow.
Yeah.
For me, because I'm an outgoing person,
Mm-hmm.
dream event will be most likely will be an outdoor event. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like what
Really.
kind of outdoor event though? Like a festival or what?
Like yeah, like music festival or just something that chill can let the people from the city calm down themselves like a short getaway. Some event like that. Yeah.
Mm. Well,
Mm,
I think for me, because going into event management, the first start I want, like the first type of event I wanted to do was concerts. So, yeah, my dream event is probably like being able to organize a concert for an idol that I've admired for a long time,
okay.
or maybe music festivals also.
Okay, that's good. Exactly, that's the heart of events, not perfection but intention. So, after everything we've discussed today, it's clear that a good or bad event doesn't just depend on the big or flashy components. It's really about the experience, the way people move, how they feel, whether things run smoothly from start to finish.
Oh, I think there's another question here.
Okay, let me just check. What do you think is the major difference in terms of event experience between events held in Malaysia and other countries?
For me, I think it's a diversity of culture because Malaysia have different
Yeah.
race in the same place. So there will be more thing to consider. But because of the multi-diverse culture, it also make our festival can involve of many elements that will make people feel fresh and interesting.
Agree.
Yeah, I think I agree with Alicia also. At first, what I thought was like, I don't think there's like that many difference between Malaysia and other countries. But now thinking of it, cultural diversity is always a part of what an event is. So
Yes.
honestly, even in outside of Malaysia, I think they also like would think about cultural diversity and whatsoever. But I feel like Malaysia themselves, as an I guess you could say a very religious country in a way, eh,
Yeah.
like Indonesia also. I think it's like there's many aspects that we always like think of when organizing an event.
Yeah, I agree on that. So, in the end, people don't always remember the schedule or the decorations, but they always remember the experience. How easy was it to navigate, whether they felt comfortable, and whether everything made sense.
So uh, I agree that a good event is all about thoughtful planning. Like, so when
Right.
every detail is considered from crowd flow to ambience and people enjoy themselves without even realizing why, that's when you know the organizers did their job very well.
Yeah, and on the other side, a bad event usually comes down to the basic being ignored, poor communication, technical issue, long queues, and all those little problems add up and completely change how attendees feel about the event.
Yeah. And like, why is event management so much more than just the planning and activities? So, Feliz, could you say?
And that's
Okay.
why management is very important because it's much
Yeah.
more than just planning activities. It's about shaping the emotion, guiding the movement, and creating moments for audience to feel natural and enjoyable.
Yes, and when attendees leave with a positive feeling, that's when you know, as an event organizer, that the event was truly successful.
Beautifully said. And with that, we've reached the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us, and we explored what really makes an event good or bad.
Yeah, thank you for having me also. This was fun.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Always a pleasure.
And and to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow the podcast and share it. Until next time, plan smart, stay creative, and keep making events better.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Bye bye.